4 words that will change your life forever. Your child has cancer.
I was so young and I was terrified. Because of the chemo I got, some of the side effects were traumatizing.
The oncologists, they're having to work with chemotherapy treatments that are 70 years old.
I fought for 2.5 years. Now I'm doing good, but many of my friends have passed away. Out of billions of dollars that goes to cancer research, only 4% of that goes to childhood cancer. Kids deserve a lot better.
Congressman McCall has made such a difference in the childhood cancer community. He founded the Childhood Cancer Caucus. He is so determined to make a difference.
Congressman McCall wants to raise awareness and he wants to raise funding so that scientists can save any child's life.
We need him there to continue to fight for us.
I don't know what we would do without him.
I'm Michael McCall and I approve this message.
We've been a team since the beginning. Dan deployed 5 times. He saw it as the way that he could ensure he did his part. After he was injured, he wanted to keep serving. He knew he couldn't stop. They could take his eye, but they couldn't take away his dedication to the United States. Dan went to DC with a mission to continue serving. He's of a strong belief that no matter what is thrown at us, we can come through this together, and he will be there to make sure that happens.
I'm Dan Crenshaw, and I approve this message.
I worked with Greg Gianforte at Right Now Technologies for 12 years. Greg is probably the most disciplined person I know.
Really unparalleled leadership experience.
To build a team of 500 employees in Montana is a really significant achievement.
Greg had a big impact on the high-tech industry here, building Right Now Technologies into what it ultimately became.
Greg wanted to create jobs. That was one of his stated goals for Right Now. Other people didn't see the opportunity of the Montana work ethic, but Greg saw it.
Greg Gianforte was one of the hardest working people I've ever known.
Working at Right Now Technologies was life-changing. Greg was an incredible leader. He pushed everyone to do better.
He looked for the best people to put on the team, and then he listened to them.
His business acumen, his leadership abilities, he has all the qualities we need.
I think Greg Gianforte would make a great governor.
I have a plan to create more high-wage jobs here in Montana, help more people prosper, and I have the experience to get that done.
I'm Martha McSally. At 12, I lost my dad. At 17, I became a survivor. And at 18, I was told girls can't be fighter pilots. Then I became the first woman to fly a fighter jet in combat and helped lead the air war after 9/11. America faces serious challenges, but we will overcome them. I approve this message because if you want flashy, you've got a guy. But if you want a fighter, I'm your girl.
You can't fake it. You're either strong or you're not. And Jeff Sessions, he's not. He wasn't man enough to stand with President Trump when things got tough, and now he's telling lies about me to cover it all up. It's time for these weak politicians to go. I'm very proud to be endorsed by President Trump. I'm running to help him drain the swamp and build the wall. I'm Tommy Tuberville, and I approve this message because I won't back down.
6 years ago, I was on a mission. Bring the values of Alaska and the Marine Corps to the United States Senate. No more excuses. I was running to get big things done for Alaska. You gave me your trust, and together, we're getting real results on big issues. Rebuilding our Alaska-based military and improving care for our veterans and their families. Bringing new jobs in energy production to the North Slope. Finally opening ANWR, improving critical infrastructure, roads, ports, and runways, and slashing red tape that limits access to our land and opportunities for our people, strengthening our fisheries and coastal communities, and cleaning up our oceans, empowering survivors of domestic violence and sexual assault, and getting help for those struggling with opioid addiction. The list goes on, and so does our mission. In 6 years, we've accomplished a lot, but we're just getting started. Join us.
Jesus Cordova was shot and killed.
Officer Jesus Cordova was shot and killed in the line of duty.
When my husband was killed, I was 5 months pregnant. to see all this going on in the world. I don't want my kids to ever be afraid to honor their dad. To say, hey, I back the police. With this whole defund the police movement, they defaced the law enforcement memorial wall and they put murderers. That's my husband's name on there. My husband was murdered. I haven't heard Joe Biden stand up for law enforcement, which says a lot. You're part of the problem because you're condoning it. What kind of a leader are you? It's a lack of respect. Joe Biden in office could go with all these people rioting and looting. It's scary to think of. How do we want to raise our children? Do we want to raise them in a situation where there's law and order, or do we want to raise them in chaos?
Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
For 47 years, Joe Biden's been digging a hole for American workers. Biden voted to ship our jobs overseas. He raised our taxes and imposed costly regulations on small businesses. Now, Biden wants a $4 trillion tax increase, a government takeover of healthcare, and a Green New Deal that would bury our economy. It's time for Joe Biden to stop digging. Preserve America PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising. For over 100 years, Parris Island has been the beating heart of the Marine Corps. The base contributes over $700 million to the Low Country's economy every year. But Joe Cunningham's vote has put Parris Island on the chopping block. Cunningham and Pelosi passed a law requiring transgendered equality in the military, a liberal mandate that will close Parris Island. Nancy Mace will defend the Low Country's military heritage.
I'm Nancy Mace, and I approve this message.